Hot chocolate. That sounds good.
Oh, maybe after our live stream we can have some hot chocolate. All right. Where am I at? No. What am I looking for? No.
You're looking for that right there. With a
I
little
just,
red dot.
okay.
There you go. There you
I
go.
went blank. I
Come
was
on.
thinking hot chocolate.
Oh no. No, no, no,
All
no,
right. Let me
no. No,
just
no, 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 no,
leave it
no.
alone.
Oh, man.
Hello, everybody. It's Danny and Wanda from Deepsouth Homestead, and we have had a busy, busy week.
Woo, been one busy week this week. I forgot what all we did, but we did a lot.
First of the week, we worked on the camp.
Yes, we did. Put down flooring.
You put down flooring in the bathroom
And
one of the storage rooms.
One of the storage rooms. The camp has 2 storage rooms.
I moved everything out of there. We put down the flooring, and then I started moving everything back in.
Yes.
And I still haven't got everything moved.
This is true.
Because Wednesday, Thanksgiving started.
Oh, Lord.
Actually, Tuesday.
I was thinking to say it actually started Tuesday.
I did some things, cooking and stuff on Tuesday.
Yeah.
My daughter and my granddaughter came Wednesday. Cooked all day.
Yep.
And then they all came
Then everybody
Thursday.
came Thursday.
Everybody
Must have
came.
been 20 and 25 of y'all's people in here.
My mom and my sister.
There was a pile of them.
One of my sons and his wife. One of my daughters, her husband, and 4 kids. The other daughter and 5 of her kids. Because one was sick and
There's
one's
a whole
married.
slew of them. Yeah, there's 2 of them missing out of 7, so there's
Yeah.
5 of them. Yeah.
And her husband was home with a sick one. Is that it? And then my other son.
Yeah, then your other son was here.
So yeah, we had a slew of people.
There's a
lot of kids
whole,
running all over
a
everywhere.
whole passel of people. We're using all these words tonight. Passel and slew and all those things.
So we know what that means. What's a passel?
A passel? That's like a large group.
What's a slew?
Same thing.
A slew is not necessarily people.
Depends on what you're talking about. Now they can have a slough in a river. You know, you can have up in a swamp. You can have a slough.
But if you said I had a slew of lemons, that just means you had a lot of them.
Yeah.
So slew means a lot of.
A lot of something.
A passel means a lot of.
A lot of. Yeah. There's a whole pile of y'all.
And most of them wasn't here.
I know, and a big portion of them wasn't here. I was just an outsider in my own home.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, hello Mark, hello Mr. Donnie and y'all. I hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving.
I've been watching, some of them's getting snow.
Yeah.
Where did I get my big cannon spoon? Y'all, Danny, I inherited that cannon spoon when I married Danny.
She did. My former wife that passed away, she used to drag me into these kitchen stores, and
there was one in Hattiesburg.
There's one in Hattiesburg, and we'd go by for her cancer treatments and stuff like that, and she just had to go by that kitchen store, and she would find these spoons and ladles and all kind of stuff in there that was an ungodly amount of money, and I would be like panicking, but she had to have them.
And I love that ladle because it's made different. Most ladles come down and then turn up. This one is laid sideways, like you can scoop with it.
Yes, it's a scoopable ladle.
It's made different.
Each ladle, one ladle was a half a cup, one ladle was a whole cup, one ladle was a quarter cup.
I think we only got 2 of them. I don't think you got the small.
Yeah, it's somewhere around
They
here.
may be, but I know I got 2 of them.
Yeah, I about had to finance them. They're here somewhere. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
There's my daughter Jennifer. She's jumping in here.
Yeah. And the day after Thanksgiving,
Miss Allison.
I was canning sweet potatoes. I canned 1 canner of sweet potatoes, and then I took all that turkey.
We had a turkey. We cooked the most perfect turkey for Thanksgiving.
I'm gonna have to show them the turkey.
You got to show them a picture.
But look at that.
Look at that turkey broth.
Isn't that pretty?
Almost look like a jar of honey.
It is gorgeous. Let me see if I can find y'all Danny's perfect turkey.
This is my perfect turkey.
Well, I don't think, Amy and Faith and I cooked.
Y'all cooked it, but I told you how.
Well, they helped me start it.
Yeah.
And Danny just told me what to do. And it turned out
to be a wonderful, wonderful.
Let's see if I can get that where
See if we can get that where they can see it.
Some of you have already seen this. Now, isn't that like the perfect turkey? Let me see if I can do this. Get it where y'all can see. I put pineapple in it. Some of pineapple.
Once we did that, she turned out perfect. Left her sitting in the broiler all night long.
Well, I took and basted it with the pineapple juice.
Pineapple
too.
juice, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was perfect. My daughter, I sent her a picture about, gosh, it must have been 9:30 when we took it out of the oven. And she thought I'd Googled the perfect turkey.
Then when it come Thanksgiving Day, I meticulously cut this bird up. And I mean, I did a plate presentation with it.
My daughter thought the presentation on the plate was as pretty as the turkey.
I did. I took my time and did the perfect presentation.
Yeah. I don't know. My daughter got the turkey, so I don't have any idea where it came from. But, oh, Carrie's here too.
Oh, there's Carrie.
Dad. So both daughters
are watching. Laugh out loud. Yeah.
Oh, so let me do this because now that Carrie reminded me, I told her she's going to have to remind me. Let me see if I can find it. She's been doing our T-shirts. I've got one on tonight. And I don't know if Danny's
Nope, I ain't got nothing on but my old denim clothes. I'm a poor man. I have to wear denim.
She has been working on her website, so let me just kind of, if I can get it where I can read it. All right, her website is going to be rcfdesigns.com. And I think I gave it to, Jennifer can put it up, and I think Lippy and Allison have it, rcfdesigns.com. She's going to be shutting down the Etsy store at the end of the year and only selling on her website. She's got lots of designs ranging from between Christmas, Christian shirts, funny shirts, farming and gardening shirts, and she'll have seasonal attire.
Ms. Lippy's got the Etsy store up.
No, Lippy, the one I sent you today, rcfdesigns.com.
Jennifer's got it.
Yeah, there we go. She's going to be shutting the Etsy down. She's going to have Deepsouth Homestead and Pecan Grove merchandise. She has a variety of colors, shirts, and brands to choose from Gildan, Comfort Colors. She's going to have sweatshirts, T-shirts, short sleeve and long sleeve. She said when you click a shirt to view it, there'll be a link to click where you can view all the colors available for that shirt and brand. So lots of the designs can be different types of shirts or brands. Processing time is going to be 3 to 5 business days, but if something is already in stock, 1 to 3 days, and she'll have it back out. Let's see what else. Oh, at the beginning of next year, she's going to be adding engraved items such as leather patches on hats, cutting boards, leather cozies, engraved tumblers, personally engraved kitchen supplies, and a lot more. So RCF Designs MS. I forgot that, Carrie. I'm sorry. RCF Designs MS at gmail.com. Oh, that's her email. If y'all need to email her about something.
Jennifer's got it up.
Okay. The MS is at her email address.
Yep.
That's what it was.
Okay. Well, we spent today planting onions. We had a lot of onions to plant today. A whole slew of onions.
Video coming soon. Well, I don't know when y'all gonna get video.
I don't know when you're gonna get this video on these onions. I'm gonna tell you what, I was a little disappointed, but I made the best of a bad situation.
Yeah. And I've got videos on my daughters and I cooking in the kitchen and stuff, but again, we've been so busy that I hadn't had time. I had to follow him around with a camera, plus just trying to get things done. Still
I actually
moving stuff.
I filled up the Vago beds today. This week I filled up 2 Vago beds.
Finally got them put together.
Got them put together and filled up with soil and got them all amended. Got all that stuff done this week. So yeah, we did get that done this week. I'm sitting here trying to think of stuff we got done.
Yeah. Yeah. Miss Lippy has her own website too. She can put that one up. She doesn't use Etsy either. When they get their own websites designed, they set it up where they can sell through those websites.
Steve Lacey says, onions by bulb or plants? If you plant onion bulbs, you will never get a big bulb onion because an onion is a biennial. Whatever the size of that little bulb is when you buy it, it won't get much bigger than that. It'll bolt right soon after you plant it. These were plants. They're called sets. They're little about, I don't know, 5-6 inch tall plants that you stick in the ground. That's the only way you're going to get a really nice big onion. Laurel says, how's my knee? I can walk on it pretty fair. I mean, if I turn it a little wrong or something like that, it does still hurt, but I just ignore it, keep going.
Tim said, did you get the sugar cane planted?
No, Tim, I did not. I did not realize that it was going to freeze last night. It got down to 28 degrees last night here, and it's supposed to get down to 28 again tonight. And I did not get it done because my onions came in yesterday and I had to plant onions today. Plus, I had to give the cows hay. I had about 1,000 things I had to do today.
And I had to chop off potatoes.
Yep, you had to chop off potatoes.
They froze.
Plus, I'm putting a new pier out in our pond, and I've been out in the edge of the water all day. So, me and Chris started it yesterday, and I kind of worked on it, you know, in the wind and the cold today.
We got our onions from House Tools. Last year we got them from Dixondale's. Years before we've ordered from one or the other or both of them each year. And last year we just had a horrible time with our Dixondale plants. It might not have been their fault, but we had an awful time. And it could be the weather, it could have been the plants, whatever. It's like they had a disease. We ordered from House Tools this time, and we probably should have ordered some from Dixondale too.
Yeah,
but
we probably
didn't.
should have.
But we finally got ours in late last night, about 7 o'clock. And there's a story, and Danny will tell it on the video. So,
Donna says, do you have alligators in your area? Donna,
yes.
Yes, there are alligators. Not right
well, they were brought in.
They were brought in here. There's no alligators in South Mississippi unless you go all the way to the Gulf, you know.
Well, we have a guy, about 3 or 4, 5 miles down the road.
About 5 miles down the road from us that brought in alligators from Louisiana, and he built a big farm. Alligator farm. He raised the eggs in it, and they incubate the eggs and send them back to Louisiana to make little alligators out of them, and then they raise up the little alligators and they butcher them and they sell the meat and they sell the hide for wallets and boots and belts and 1,000 other different things.
Renata says she's still waiting on hers from Hoss. Talas Farm says they got theirs from Hoss and they look good. Ours did not look good.
Ours was all, well, you'll see ours in the video. As a matter of fact, I had to call Greg personally because there was a serious management issues in the company. We got lied to several times, and then we got put on the back burner, and I was not a happy camper.
He's still not a happy camper.
Still not a happy camper,
onions. We'll see.
We're hoping, you know, Greg and I talked personally, and Greg made it right, and he promised me that this new variety.
Said she already got hers, and hers looked great too. But I think she got hers a week ago.
Oh yeah, but see, we just got ours. We're in the deep south. Ours should have been given to us before anybody else even got theirs because we're way far south. I mean, South Texas, South Florida, South Mississippi should have got onions before anybody else got them. Up north.
But I ordered in September, like the 1st of September, and my email said I would be getting them shipped out November the 12th, which would have put it about right. We should have got them around the 15th. That would have put us right. Well, we never got anything. We never got an email. We never got anything. Waited the 20th. We still hadn't gotten an email. Still hadn't gotten any. I think he called the office twice. They told us they would ship out
that day.
Didn't get anything. So I think on the 25th or 6th, he called again and finally just asked to speak to Greg. So we finally got them shipped out pronto, and
once I talked to Greg, once I spoke with Greg and Greg realized what was going on, they was in the mail within an hour, and we had our, we had our tracking numbers and all. So it was a management issue. There's nothing against Greg. Greg did a fantastic job. There was just some management issues. I mean, I've run companies and I understand what goes on in situations like that. And sometimes you have to get a hold to the owner of a company to get something done.
Yeah.
Debbie,
Renetta's like us, the moon phase. Well, ours is, it gets so hot in the spring. So, you know. All right.
the problem was, one reason I was upset is because we're not on the waning of the moon. And the waning of the moon is when you put your root crops in the ground, like onions and taters and stuff like that. And I had to plant mine when it's not the waning of the moon. So that's the reason I mean, in the video, I tell you, I don't expect a lot. You know, I mean, if they grow, they grow. If they don't, they don't. But.
So what else? We didn't get the sugar cane done, and so we hope it doesn't freeze. But we had a heavy frost last night.
Oh, we had a freeze last night.
Our
first frost was also a hard freeze. Yeah.
And it wasn't supposed to get, but what, 35 or something last night? 34 or something?
Yeah, they had us forecasted for like 31. You know,
31?
31.
Okay.
Yeah. Said that that the feel-like temperature could be 29 or something like that. And I was up about 1:30 putting wood in the fire, and I looked at the thing and it said 28 degrees, and I was like, "What?" I was like, "Oh no! I didn't have no pipes covered, nothing."
Yeah, we've been running behind this year.
It's too late to plant onion seeds. I'm gonna just tell you, it's not the time of year.
Danny planted them, and when he planted them, I ordered at the same time because we weren't sure. It was so hot, and it stayed hot. And I planted a few, but I don't think any of them did anything. They came up and got little swigglies, and then just died off. It was too hot.
Song of Joy says, Danny, did you ever discover what was the shining object is in the southwest sky? I did look it up, and everything that I looked at, and even I went out and looked and saw the object in the southwest sky, and it was Venus. Venus is visible certain times of the year, and it lined up perfectly with what they showed, on the astronomer site that I looked at, because they said Venus was visible during this time of the year for a certain period of time, and I'm guessing that's what it was. It don't move, I know that.
Okay, so we got a couple of things about the sugar cane. Number one, we planted a lot of sugar cane, and what we had is covered, and it should be okay. But we did not cut down all the cane over at Deepsouth. We left two patches.
We had 2 patches of blue ribbon left that we were going to cut and replant over here, and I'm going to have to look at it tomorrow and see if it froze the eyes on it or whatever. If it did, I'll just have to throw it away.
All right, and the other is, how long will the sugar cane last in sealed jars?
It lasts forever. It's just like sugar.
We have some that's 3 and 4 years old that we're still, every year we make new, and a jar or two will get sent to the back, and I add the new in there and we'll use up, and then, so I found like 1 or 2 jars that was at least 3 years old.
Yeah.
And 2 or 3 of them were last year's, and then we got this year's. So.
Yeah. Sweet potato leaves are turning purple. Is that normal? Yeah, sweet potatoes should done be gone by now because of the cold weather.
Ours, even in the high tunnel, were kind of frozen. I was shocked that the sweet potatoes just didn't do very good at all.
Yeah.
But we had some volunteers, and I was letting them go, and I pulled most of them up.
We lost some things last night. We lost our banana trees, all got froze except for the ones in the high tunnel. The ones in the high tunnel is fine, but those outside froze. We lost some basil plants outside froze.
Yeah, I had to pull the basil.
Couple of other little plants froze, but most everything did not freeze.
Country Nana says, what's the brand of overalls that you wear?
Oh, these are Roundhouse.
And you buy them through roundhouse.com. I just ordered Danny 4 new pair. Don't go through Amazon and third party.
Nope.
Go straight to Roundhouse.
Go straight to Roundhouse. Roundhouse are American made. I literally love them. They're high backs.
They do have zipper and button fly, so you have to know which one the guy wants, because Danny prefers the zipper flies.
I prefer the zipper.
But they have both, and you have to pay attention when you're ordering too. They have lightweight and heavyweight denim. They have light colors and dark denim.
Susie Q, where I saw her. Can you plant onions on the next waning of the moon? You probably could, depending on where you live at. For us in the deep south, it'd be too late to do it, because it's going to turn hot here whenever they're trying to grow in the spring, and they would just bolt. But now if you're up way north of us, like zone 6 or something, maybe 7 and 6, you could plant yours then and get away with it, but not in the south where we're at.
All right, my crooked little homestead said her husband and his twin sister turned 73 Monday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
All right, so where are we at? Roundhouse even has spare parts if you need to repair an item. Found
some at a thrift store.
Oh, okay. I didn't know they had spare parts. I didn't realize that. What homestead pond is Elvis living in?
Elvis is deceased now.
Just this week.
Just this week, we found him laying up on the shore. The catfish has eat his eyes out.
And part of his top of his head.
Top of his head was eat off, and I went to pick him up and it broke his nose off. So I was going to throw him back in the pond and let the fish finish him.
Up, it
just snapped and broke. So he went to the big landfill in the he went to the big landfill, okay?
Yeah, he had been in Pecan Grove for about almost a year now. And all my ducks are in Pecan Grove Pond. They're staying. You had to throw one back in, didn't you?
Yeah, I had to throw one of the ducks back in the pond. He ended up shore bound.
All right, Tambra says she has poison ivy rash. Do you have any Fells Naphtha?
Yeah.
I think that's it. If you have Fells Naphtha, Miss Lippy can give you some information on that.
Or what is the other one? That's right on the tip of my tongue. Oh. I'll think of it in a minute, maybe.
I think lemongrass. If you had lemongrass, I think there's a way to make
It's not lemongrass. It's something else.
Like
jewelweed.
Yeah.
Jewelweed is really, really good for poison ivy rash.
Elvis was a alligator head that somebody sent me a few years ago as a gift, and we put it in the pond at Deepsouth when we first built it. And when we moved over here, we put the Elvis in the pond here after we rebuilt the pond here. Aloe gel will help. Jewelweed is what Danny was thinking of.
Yeah, jewelweed is what I was thinking about, yeah.
Did you cut the dead banana leaves off and compost them, or should you throw them away?
You don't cut anything off when a pecan tree when a banana tree dies. You leave all the leaves on it and let them drape down around it. Do not cut anything off. Leave it alone, because it takes about 18 months to grow a banana tag. And if you leave it like it is, most of it will survive, and the center of it will act as an insulator. And the new tree next spring already has a little bit of a head start getting up. But if you cut it off, it's got to start all over again.
How do you know when to harvest lemongrass?
You can harvest lemongrass anytime you want to. It doesn't have to be a specific time. You want to show them your fruits you got there?
Oh, yeah. Lemongrass, you can even dig a piece of the root off and break it off. And lots of the dishes call for the root, but you can use the grass part anytime. You just cut it back. It's going to keep coming. Okay, this is what Danny wanted to...
These are what we harvested today. Look at this, guys. Somebody mysteriously got the other one.
We had three.
We had three, and then when we had all the family here, one of them come up missing. So I kind of figure who did it, but... We
know one of the kids got an orange probably, but that's okay.
Yeah.
But look at this. Aren't they beautiful?
Aren't they beautiful?
We didn't know it was going to freeze last night, so I jumped up and went out and got them this morning. And then, look at this. Chris ain't the only one that can grow lemons.
Look at this, guys. These are lemons.
My lemons.
We had to get them off the tree because it was going to be freezing tonight.
See how big?
I mean, they're as big as, well,
almost
as big as the orange.
Yeah.
The orange is bigger than a softball, and the lemons are almost the same size
Put that one up.
as the orange. Look at that. Isn't that amazing that these lemons are that big?
And they're just starting to turn, so I had to get them off the tree. And I had a few kumquats, but I'd already pulled some of them.
Take it word of time.
Okay. All right. There we go. Can you leave sweet potatoes buried in the ground?
You can, but it's not advised to because of the sweet potato weevils. Lots of times will overwinter in the ground with them, and they will bore holes into them, and it cause them to ruin.
That's a
yeah? These are called improved Meyer lemons. They're not just the Myers lemon; they're the improved Myers lemons.
All right. Yeah, these oranges are the size of grapefruits in town.
Yeah, they are.
And then the grapefruit I got from Azure was like twice the size. It was like huge. That's the first time I've gotten grapefruit that big in a long time. The lemons, Chris's lemons, it's a Meyer, but it's the old-fashioned.
It's the old-fashioned Meyer, yeah.
And so these are doing really good.
TJ Cat says, I have a pineapple plant on my back porch. I'm in North Texas. Do I need to move it inside? If it's going to freeze, yes.
I've got some on my back porch.
Pineapples don't like it to be below 40 degrees.
I've got to move some in too. All right, how many kids do y'all have? How many you got?
I got 2.
That you know of.
That's what I used to tell her. I have 2 of my own. I have 1 stepson left. 3 of them were killed. I have 1 stepson and 2 of my own children. And
girls.
Both girls, and which are on here tonight. And then Wanda has...
I have 5. I have 2 daughters and 3 sons. And then grandchildren, Danny has... See, Jennifer's got 1, Carrie's got 2 and 2 stepchildren. And... Henry has 6 or 7.
Henry has 6 or 7 of them.
I forgot.
I can't keep up with them. There's so many of them.
Plus, Henry has a couple of daughters that have children, so Danny's actually a great-grandfather.
I'm a great-grandfather on that side, yeah.
And then I have, let's see, Amy has 7. Then Maggie has 4. John has 1 and 2 stepchildren. So... we got a lot of grandchildren.
Mr. Donnie said, I have an improved Meyer lemon tree. The lemons got about the size of a large grape and dried up and fell off. Don't know why. That sounded like a pollination issue is what it sounded like. It sounded like it didn't pollinate well. How do I know when to pull my Meyer lemons? It froze. That's why we just pull them when it, we leave them on the tree unless it's going to freeze. If it's going to freeze, we try to take them off the tree.
Actually, Danny's previous wife that passed from cancer, she had 3 of her children killed in a car accident at one time, 5 years before y'all met, right?
Yes, 5 years before we met. They were on their way to school.
Yeah.
The oldest daughter had just walked the football field. She was not homecoming queen, but I think maid of honor or something like that they called her.
Or maid.
Maid
like
or
senior maid.
Senior maid, something like that. And they were on their way to school and had a single car accident, very simple accident. Sun got in her eyes, left the road. Car flipped over, hit a tree, killed every one of them instantly. So, Carrie says, Dad, what's on your hat? It says Old South and it has a sweet potato on it. One of the subscribers sent me this.
Yeah. So starting next week, we're going to be giving away, well, we're going to do a giveaway tonight too. But starting next week, we're going to be doing our Christmas giveaways.
Mm-hmm.
And here we're going to do one each Saturday night for 3 Saturday nights before Christmas. And then over on Pecan Grove, off and on during the month of December, Daniel just announced that we're doing a giveaway and tell you what we're doing on Pecan Grove. Tonight, we're going to give another package of Silver Run coffee Crafters. I'm going to give away the Zero Dark 30. This one so far is my favorite. I haven't really tried any others except the Smokehouse. I've got some to try. Danny's sitting here breathing in the coffee. So we're going to be giving away the Zero Dark 30 in a few minutes, and we got to figure out how we're going to be giving away if somebody wants to try this coffee. And y'all check out Silver Run Coffee Crafters on Facebook. That's the only way to find them right now. They're working on their website. They live, what, 4 or 5 miles from here?
Yeah, probably 5 miles from here. Yeah.
And they are doing all the roasting. They have a holiday blend. We have a couple of holiday ones to give away. We have 2 or 3 other blends to give away. And so tonight it's the Zero Dark 30. It's a, let's see what it says. It is a 4-ounce medium dark roast. It's ground. Gets you up and going in the early morning hours and keeps you going late into the night. These MYSORE Missouri beans from India are roasted medium dark for rich, full body and a very smooth cup. And I have to agree, it is a smooth cup of coffee. So,
Allison said, my daughter loved the Zero Dark 30.
Oh, good. I thought it was awesome. I hadn't asked Lippy if she's drank any yet. I thought the Zero Dark 30 was a, it is not a decaf.
It's not a decaf. They have decaf, but it's not that.
It's called
Mellow
Brew.
Mellow Brew water.
Mellow Brew or Mellow something.
Mellow something waterpress.
It's with the water, not with chemicals. Robert Mitchell says he needs a bunch of Vago. Vago has really good deals right now, you guys, on.
Yeah, we just bought.
I just ordered 2.
Ordered 2 more. Yeah. I tried to get her to do 4, but she's like, nah, I'm just not going.
I was cheapskate.
She's a cheapskate. I told her, I says, we can't take the money with us when we leave, so why not enjoy it now? You know.
I ordered 2 more because it took me a month to get the last 2 put together that I ordered. So I ordered 2 more. I figure they'll run some kind of sale in January to February, and I'll get the other 2.
Probably a New Year's sale.
So Vago's having a sale right now. GreenStalk's having a sale.
Well, everything's having a sale. It's
Nutri-Mill. I'm putting up a video in the morning with the Nutri-Mill grain meal that I got with the stones and the Bosch mixer that I got. They're having a good, I think like $100 off, and then you use my code and you get $20 more off. So anybody that was looking for a mixer, now's the time to buy. What else? Who else we got? Grower Solution with the high tunnels having a sale. I'm pretty sure probably My Patriot Supply is having a sale. I hadn't really looked because I try not to go on their site too long, but we are giving away what is it? An Alexa Pure pitcher that you pour water and it what is it? It takes out the, what do you call it? Purifies the water. That's what I'm looking for.
It takes out all the bacteria, the chemicals, the poisons,
we're going to be giving
all
one
that
of
kind of
those
stuff
away shortly.
Yeah.
So we got all kinds of people doing things. So let's see, what else? What if a little poison ivy got accidentally mixed into the compost pile? Are we in trouble?
No, you're not in trouble.
It just might start growing again.
No, it won't hurt a thing. It won't grow. It's not going to cause any problems. The only way poison ivy spreads is it gets berries on it, and the berries get in the ground. They sprout and come up. That's one thing.
All right, Lou wants to know, does anyone have issues with the green stalks falling over due to wind? If you get them, you have to kind of level them up. The base has to be level when you do it, because we put some in a high tunnel one year, and the bottom wasn't totally level when I started putting it up, and I noticed it was wanting to lean, so anything would have bloated over. Danny had to go get a piece of plywood, I think, and put down and level it up and make sure it was all even. And so putting them outside just on the ground, yeah, they could be not quite leveled out.
Right.
Wouldn't the banana tree survive a frost better in a greenhouse like the ones at Deepsouth? The ones you have pineapples in? Yes, we have some in the high tunnel.
Ours are in the high tunnel here. The banana trees that died was up by the chicken pen. I planted them up there so that the chickens would have a shade in the summertime.
All right, so I have been wanting to buy the Alexa Pure picture. Well, we'll be giving away one maybe next week or the week after or sometime. Yeah, GreenStalks do have a new color. They have several. The pinks, the blues, that's two of their newest colors, I think. The two smaller Vago beds, you can get the kids' beds for, I think it's like $99 or something.
They weren't that expensive.
And if I didn't look to see if they're running them on sale, so I don't know. But if you have children, there's a program you can sign up, and you can get them for half price. I forgot what the deal is, how it works, but $50 off, something like that.
Barb says, when do you think the dollar will crash to be cashless? Next year? It will be next year. They won't do it this year.
Besides wasp and bees, what do you not want in a compost pile?
You really, in a compost pile, you don't want to put any kind of meat or bones or anything like that. Even though we do, if you've got a predator issue, if you've got predators like possums and dogs and foxes and all that kind of stuff, I've killed all that out around here. So we don't have anything left. I mean, we can put that kind of stuff in our compost piles and let it break down all winter. But you really don't want to put anything like grease, like if you fry something, you don't want to put that kind of grease or something like that in your compost pile, because it takes a very long time for that kind of stuff to break down.
Beverly Mitchell says she has a GreenStalk and she doesn't use all the tiers in one because of high winds. She makes two shorter ones.
Now that makes a lot of too. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Instead, like one of the little ones has 7 tiers. You could do 4 and 3, and not have them so tall. The 5 ones you could do 3 and 2, and not have them so tall. Phyllis said, you have over 1,000 people watching. Please remind everyone to give a thumbs up. Y'all give us a thumbs up. It helps us a little bit.
Puts us in the algorithm better.
Whoa,
ooh, boy, that jumped.
I don't know. Y'all repeat questions because it jumped. Can I fertilize my garlic the same as my onions?
Yeah. Our garlic and onions are both alliums. They're both in the same family. They both require the same amount of stuff.
And do you mulch your onions?
No, we do not mulch onions.
All right. Are pecan shells good in compost piles?
You can put pecan shells in compost piles, but they're not going to break down for probably 2 or 3 years. They're very hard to break down. The best thing to do with pecan shells is pile them up in a pile and set them on fire and just burn them, and then take the ash and add that to the compost pile.
Happy birthday, Jean. She says she's cooking turkey bones for soup. Yep, that's what this is.
That's what this is right here. That's turkey broth.
Isn't it pretty?
It is beautiful.
Somebody wanted to know about Danny's beef broth in his.
Oh,
I hadn't made that yet.
She hasn't made it yet. Mr. Tim and Miss Heidi was gracious enough to bring us 2 chicken carcasses.
Yeah.
That they had butchered and stuck in the freezer for their own purposes, but they were kind enough to bring them. Miss Wanda boiled it down and took the broth from that and used it in the dressing. Of course, now we have the turkey broth from the turkey that was left over, and we really have a lot of broth off that. I mean, you got like what, 6 pints or something?
7.
7?
7 pints, and it's got all the seasonings and everything in it. So all I have to do is open it up and add it to my cornbread and mix it all up and make my dressing. So I can make a small thing of dressing, not a big thing, but a small thing of dressing for Danny and I 7 times.
Yeah.
Or open them all and make one big thing. But we do have some. Somebody wanted to know about morning glories, how to get rid of them.
Move. That's the easiest thing to do. Morning glories will lay in the soil for 100 years, the seeds, and still come up. Anytime you see one of them come up, pull it up. And pull it up and put it in the garbage and let them haul it off. I mean, literally. Don't compost it. Don't burn it. Just put it in the garbage and let them haul it off.
Elder Midwife says, what are you planting in your high tunnels now? Frost last night got the last of my outside beans. Think I'm resting till seed starting in the new year.
Today I pretty much filled up 1, 2, 3, 4 Vago beds in the high tunnel with the bulbing onions, because we got kind of messed up there and didn't get our onions in time. I'm thinking in the high tunnel, because it stays a little bit warmer in there, I might be able to push them a little bit harder and faster to make up for lost time. The ones we put in the field, we'll just have to see how they turn out. If they make, if they make, if they don't, they don't. I put around 175 in the high tunnel and about 200 in the field to see how they do. I don't expect a lot out of the fields, but I mean, I think they'll probably make some small onions, the ones that live. We'll just have to see. Time will tell.
Yeah, Old Dominion says every time her husband gets in the truck, he looks in the glove box for snakes. My daughter and granddaughter were getting in my car to ride with us over to Deepsouth, and
Amy was gonna drive. And she said, nope, you got to look in that glove box. And I told her, I said, look, I'll drive. So she got in the back seat. She went to get in the back seat of the car, and she was looking under the seats and everything else. She says, I don't want no snake in this car with me.
They did. They looked for snakes. Do we ever get burned out from homesteading?
No, you can't get burned out from homesteading. Homesteading is a way of life. If you want to live and live healthy and live a good life, homesteading is the only life to live for me. I would not live in town. You couldn't make me live in town. I wouldn't live in a subdivision. You couldn't make me live in a subdivision. I don't even like neighbors. So I like being out.
He likes to be able to grow and do things.
Yes.
Now, I get tired of a lot at one time. I get overwhelmed. So I like to back off and make sure I want to finish this project before I get to the next project. He has 475,000 projects started at one time.
Yeah.
And none of them are finished. And it drives me
some
up
of them are finished.
No.
Yeah, the furnace.
Name one.
The furnace is all finished out there.
No, you said you had something you had to do to it.
No, I'm through.
Really?
Yeah.
100%.
Well, other than the cane mill, we got to make an adjustment on the cane mill. But that's.
But basically.
Basically right there. I got my syrup pan, the things for the handles on it put on. I got the new handles put up in the attic. The furnace is completely built. Now all we need now is a top to go on the furnace.
And the sign. Carrie's working on the sign.
Oh yeah, I don't know. If I may have to build my own sign. It looks like, but I mean, that's basically other than the cooktop to go on the furnace.
So one project down, 475,000
we got all
more to go.
No, the cornmeal's all done. We got that all done.
Oh, we did the muscadines today.
Oh, we did. We squeezed muscadine juice today.
So that's done.
Yep, that's out of the way.
The cane syrup's done, except if you got to replant that little bit.
We got a lot of projects done. I'm working on a new extension to the pier out in the pond because the water level here is so low. We just haven't had no rain. The pond's down like 3 to 4 feet, and I'm taking that opportunity. Chris and I put more posts into the pond, way on out into the pond out there to the edge of the water. Got them set, and now I'm putting the framework in so that when the water comes back up, you'll be able to be way out in the water when you're fishing.
Darlene says, I saw a video of leftover mashed potato fudge recipe. Got me to thinking, can we use sweet potatoes to make fudge? Number one, I don't know why you'd want to use mashed potatoes to make fudge, but okay, somebody was desperate. I don't know.
That sounds like
sweet potatoes, I do have a recipe for making sweet potato brownies, so I'm pretty sure you probably could turn it into some fudge. I don't know, but I do have a brownie recipe. And I have tried it, and it's pretty good. Cross of Salvation wants to know, do you make bone meal
how do you
from the
make
bones?
bone meal?
How do you make it from the bones?
Oh, I don't even where it went, how it was worded.
How do you make bone meal from the bones?
I don't make bone meal, so I don't know what the answer to that really is.
Okay, so Art for God wants to know, how did we meet?
We actually have videos up about how we met on Deepsouth Homestead.
Carrie said, shots fired.
We met on Christian Mingle. We actually talked for 2 weeks before we ever saw each other's real face, or what we knew to be each other's real face.
Yeah.
Person to person, should I say. We just talked over the phone.
Carrie said Rusty said he'd be there at 5 in the morning to get the wood for the sign.
Oh. I'm just having fun.
Yeah. Whatever we need to do to make a sign, we'll get it done.
Yeah.
We have ideas, and Carrie's working on some, and
yeah.
I think Rusty poo-pawed 1 or 2 of her ideas. So
oh, did he?
Yeah.
See,
I hadn't seen any yet.
Y'all have to understand, if Wanda gets sent anything, I never see it.
No. I just tell them about it
afterward. Later she'll come to me and she says, oh, I forgot to tell you about this. Chris sends a lot of things. Tim sends a lot of things. Him and Heidi.
You need to get your own phone.
I am not toting a telephone. No, I'll refuse to have a phone. To me, I live 50 years of my life without toting a telephone around, and I'm not about to start now. When
he tried it for a couple of years, and he got tired.
When the government started tapping my phone and messing with me, I throwed that sucker off in the woods, and I don't want another one.
Okay. Yeah, so we did meet through Christian Mingle.
Yeah, we did meet. And I don't advise that now. I really don't advise that.
It's probably not the best
It's
thing
not the best thing in the world.
Actually, God put us together through Christian Mingle, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, this lady says, white potatoes, powdered sugar, and peanut butter roll. Okay.
That don't sound appetizing, but...
Mashed potato candy. I really have heard of mashed potato candy. I don't know, and I'm pretty sure if I ate it not knowing what it was, it would be good. I'd have this in my brain, what mashed potatoes taste like, till I bit into it.
Okay. Cindy at Simple Backwoods wants to know how to do a pineapple. Cindy on Deepsouth Homestead, just Google Deepsouth Homestead planting pineapples. We've got several videos over there.
Or on Crazy Days, I've got several.
Yeah, we've got them all over the place. It tells you how to do it step by step. We've got them started around here everywhere, sitting in jars. They're all over the place.
Okay, where are we at?
Art for God said, I met my dear late husband on Christian Mingle.
Yeah. So see, there are good stories. Danny's brother met his wife on Christian Mingle. Yep. So there are good stories that out there, but you have to be very, very careful and very, very knowledgeable about what you want, because...
Oh, there's Vicky. Vicky said, have you tried the new Pativa? No, we got it in, and we eventually figured out how to put it together.
I 2 hours watching you and Chris.
That was the poorest instructions I've ever seen in my life, but we finally figured it out.
Let's back up.
Well, let's do back up, because first of all, we didn't see the instructions.
They couldn't find the instructions. And they were laying there. I handed them a piece of paper, and it was laying there. And finally, after about 30 minutes, they picked the piece of paper up, Chris does, and was reading on it. And then somewhere stashed in that piece of paper was the actual directions. And Chris was trying to figure out from another thing. Almost 2 hours.
We couldn't find the instructions, and we were looking at pictures, trying to figure out pictures. And then finally I flipped one of the pieces of paper over that was folded up, and there was the instructions on the inside.
And what we're talking about is an oil press.
Yeah, it's an oil press.
Miss Vicky sent us an oil press, and so we haven't had time to deal with it, but it took them a while. Actually, I was wondering, I'm like, okay, how does it work? But I wouldn't get involved. I just backed off and watched them and laughed. But it actually told how to use it too. Where are we at? No.
Robert Mitchell says, it's time to make pork belly candy. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And hopefully tomorrow evening, Chris and I will be skinning out a really big pig, putting it in the walk-in cooler. And I got to get with Tim because Tim wanted to be here when we cut it up. So I got to, Tim, if you're on here tonight, brother, get with me. And because we probably will cut it up one day next week.
All right, what happened on the Christian dating site that you don't support? It's just that it's not anything that happened. It's
nothing happened. Most people are lie.
People lie because, to give you an example, one guy said that he would, something about coming to the town I was in, and I said, okay, and I wouldn't give out addresses. Never, ever, ever,
no,
ever
don't
give
ever
out
use,
your
don't ever use your real
stuff.
name or give out addresses.
And he said, you would have to meet me and pick me up. Come to find out he's a truck driver. Well, you all know that truck drivers have somebody in every town. That was not my idea of a Christian mingled dater, you know, somebody to date. And then another guy said, well, if I seem a little off, it's because I didn't smoke my pot today. And I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
That's not my idea of good dates, you know. So after about 2 weeks, I sent messages out, and Danny was one of them, and I said, I'm getting off of here. You want my number? Here's my number. Call me. And Danny called me, and we started talking because the other people were crazy. I am not lying. You have to be very, very, very careful.
Very careful.
Because they lie to you up one side.
I'm telling you,
One guy said he went to church, and when I asked him, you know, where he went to church and stuff, he said, well, 3 years ago I went to my daughter's Christmas pageant. That ain't what I was talking about going to church. I'm sorry. Yeah. So you have to be careful.
Yeah. Yes, Vicky, we still have plenty of room.
We got 40 acres.
We got 40 acres here.
Danny's going to make room.
Yeah, so it was an interesting way to meet, but at the same time, we saw God in so many ways in it. That's the reason we knew it was us. But people lied to me like Wanda's talking about.
Oh, somebody asked, do we have adoption papers drawn up for Chris yet?
We're very seriously considering it. Very seriously considering it.
I think him and Jen would just say, okay, adopt us now. Go ahead.
Yep.
I figure like we probably already have. My daughter calls him her little brother.
Her little brother, not her youngest brother, but her little brother.
He can't be the baby brother because she already has a baby brother. So Chris is now her little brother. So.
Yeah. Let's see.
My parents were truck drivers, but I get you aren't broadcasting all truck drivers.
No, because I mean, we used to own a trucking company, and you know, we had some really good truck drivers, but lots of truck drivers that just own their own rigs and drive, or either they just drive for companies, you know, like we had one guy who left our truck in Florida, and he just hooked up with some old woman and just left our truck just in Florida, and we didn't know where it was at. And finally, we had to call around to different dispatches to where you'd been and where you hadn't been, and finally found it sitting in a parking lot. You know, I mean, then we had to go to Florida and get it.
Yeah. All right, what else we got going on? Oh, we got to give this away before.
Oh, we do have to give this away before.
What can we do to give away coffee?
What do we need to do?
I should have discussed this with Miss Lippy so she'd have an idea of what to look for.
Yeah, let's see.
Oh, Lippy. Oh.
I don't know.
I need an idea. Yeah, Carrie married her
my
UPS.
youngest daughter married her UPS driver.
So did Kathy and Mickey. Mickey started,
Mickey married his male
lady.
Male lady. I mean,
that's how Kathy and Mickey met. She was his mail lady.
She was his mail lady. Yep.
Oh, that's really funny. All right, so I've got to find. I need an idea.
I don't know. What's the best way? Susie Q says, guess a number.
Oh, good Lord, I'd have to give Lippy a number.
Favorite colors, one said. Anna says, can you grow coffee in the Deep South? You probably can, because they grow it The two biggest producers in the United States are Hawaii is the #1 producer of coffee. California comes in as second. There is some grown in South Carolina, but not much.
One lady married her mechanic.
ABC XYZ said met my husband in high school.
All right.
Juby Joe says my mail lady hit my truck.
All right, Lippy's got the number, and it's going to be a number between 1 and 200. Go. And Lippy's looking for the number, and I'll tell y'all when she sends me got it, I will tell y'all to stop posting numbers.
Let's see here. Let's see.
Pamela, there is a lot of walking pneumonia going around. There's a
lot of walking pneumonia going around. I just used the game warden with this past week. Me and him met.
Good Lord, Lippy.
And his son has walking pneumonia. The guy.
Man, they posting them numbers so fast. I hope they got a way to slow that thing down, cause all I see. Numbers.
It'll be a while before Miss Lippy has it. I'm gonna tell you.
Jennifer said, "Oh my God." Lippy, you're going to put stop at some point.
This is like this is like watching a computer program running by. You're like,
oh Lord.
Oh my goodness.
Lippy will put stop up there at some point. When you see her say stop, 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 y'all stop.
Oh man.
Goodness. Okay, I see stop somewhere.
Okay, Jennifer Johnson says, okay, stop.
I don't know if Lippy's found the number. She told me.
Makes me dizzy, someone said. Look at this.
They keep posting numbers.
Well, there's a lot of numbers between, what'd you say, 1 and 200?
Yep.
Oh, my goodness. This is crazy.
All right, I'm going to start charging y'all for every number.
Lippy's eyes are rolling. They said, this is a matrix.
Lippy said stop, 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 stop. Okay, y'all stop.
Lippy said stop. Lippy says we have a winner.
Okay. We have
Somebody
hit the right number.
Hit the right number. This is like the jackpot.
Okay. Stop with the numbers. Stop with the numbers.
That was pretty interesting. That was interesting.
Okay, so what is
Aunt Bebon.
Okay, hold on. Cross of salvation. Do you know everyone got to get along to live in firmament? Can't y'all?
Can y'all?
Can y'all? Okay, yeah, they all get along. They got numbers galore.
Oh my
Aunt
word.
Bebon, Bebon. Aunt Bebon is the winner. The number was 135, and I'm guessing Miss Lippy had to go all the way back to the beginning and have to go through to see. And we always rely on like Lippy's because she has really super internet and she's the first one. It might show up on our side later after somebody else's, but we rely on Lippy's. That's usually what we do. So
there she is. She says, that's me. All right. Send Ms. Wanda your information. Ms. Lippy has it up there at deepsouthhomestead@gmail.com.
The number was 135. How many times did 135 end up in all that, Lippy?
Oh,
She's
man.
probably going, not much.
Once she found it, she didn't worry about how many times it was in there.
The number was 135. So.
Yeah. Man, it's got my eyes feeling weird.
Aunt Bebon.
I was sitting here looking at that going by, and my eyes just feel funny.
Okay, so now
you can tell I don't go to the casinos.
Carrie's going to have these,
oh, yeah.
What do you call tumblers?
Tumblers.
All right, I've got Life is a Garden, Dig It from Pecan Grove, and Danny has...
I get it where I get my hand. My wrist won't turn.
A life-changing event, and it's got Deepsouth Homestead at the bottom.
Yeah.
And we might be giving some of these away during Christmas. Just hang on.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, now, so Aunt Bebon will be getting some Zero Dark 30 from Silver Run Coffee Crafters. It'll go out in the mail probably Monday. Everybody's dizzy. looked like a slot machine. Yeah, it did.
It did. It was running like a slot machine.
And we'll still get numbers because people coming in with a delay on their side that are coming into the chat late, they'll still think that they're up with us.
Yes.
Mary Beth says she already has her LCE.
I've had a massive LCE.
Well, I don't know if she's talking about the tumbler.
Yeah.
Okay.
Michael Bragg says, we have grown stevia. I grew stevia for many, many years. I kept the same plant for probably,
I don't know how many years you had it before.
Whew.
When we married, it was
me and Debbie bought it at Lowe's in Philadelphia, Mississippi. I bought that plant there. And then we had it for years until she passed away.
And when we married, it'd been 2 years since she had passed.
Yeah.
And it was in the cellar, and he went down in the cellar to get it, and it looked like a dead plant. It really didn't have much at all going on with it. He brought it out. He hadn't even watered it probably in months.
I ain't watered that thing in months.
Maybe even a year.
That's been a long time.
And I started watering it. It came back out. It started growing. I mean, it had sat dormant that long.
Yeah.
And we took it in and out for probably 2 or 3 years. And I planted it in the ground one year, and he forgot to dig it up, and we lost our stevia.
We lost our stevia.
But we grew it for probably 4 or 5 years.
And it was a big plant. I'm talking about it was huge.
Yeah. Okay. Any news from your heart doctors? They told him just to go have fun.
They told me to go have fun. There wasn't nothing wrong with me. They'd see me in a year. So I was healthier and stronger and had a cleaner heart than a teenager.
He hasn't had as many spells.
No, I've been just kind of going with the flow, trying to, the old devil's throwed a lot of things in my path. But I've just had to say, you know what? I really don't care. I don't care about nobody or nothing. So my original heart doctor told me. I'm going to tell y'all what my original heart doctor told me probably 15 years ago. He told me I couldn't be happy and I couldn't be sad. I had to be just plain across the board. And I couldn't have no emotions. I couldn't have any of that stuff if I wanted my heart to stay calm and not have any problems. And I tried that for a long, long time. As a matter of fact, when Wanda and I first started YouTube, lots of people said, man, does Mr. Danny ever smile? Or does he ever laugh? Or does he ever do anything like that,
Now he's out of hand.
Now I do. And I know I'm going to have heart problems afterwards when I do it. But I ain't never died from it.
Yeah, Mimsy had seen Mimsy had come seen the stevia plant, and Jennifer, a lot of people had seen it. It was huge, and it produced a lot of stevia, but I didn't really use stevia. I didn't really like it.
Stevia is like 300 times sweeter than sugar.
And we had it as a sugar substitute in case we needed it, but.
Yeah.
Then when we lost it, we haven't come across one anymore. Diane says she rolled her left ankle. Yeah, Danny knows.
Yep.
Knows what that is. A lot of people asking for prayer requests.
Susie Q said, I take magnesium for my heart flutters. They flooded me with magnesium in the hospital when mine was out of rhythm. Didn't change nothing. They told me, says, oh, well, that's not what it is.
Yeah. Where are we at now? Does the heat affect your blood pressure?
No. I have a very low blood pressure anyway. I have a very low heart rate on top of that. Carolyn says, do you think the solar storms affect you? Yes, the solar storms affect me big time.
Our right-of-way thing is settled, or I guess it's settled. We've gotten a lot of things.
Well, we're
talked to them. We're still working with it.
I'm still working
but I
with
think
them.
It's about settled.
It's pretty much a done deal. We're just waiting on a couple of things. It's all shut down right now, but I mean, we're not.
We're going to start back this week, talking to them and making sure everything's leveled out. As long as everything's legal, then we're gonna go with it.
As soon as I make sure every piece of the road is done legally, there's certain dimensions that have to be met on everything. And as soon as all that's met, then I'll permit everything to continue.
And it will help us when we sell Deepsouth. So and it'll help the next person. So not to have to ever deal with what we've dealt with for how many years? 15, 18 years?
I've dealt with it for close to 20 years. That's what happens when you have
20 years.
Aggravating people living around you. That's why I don't like people.
Okay. A lot of people asking for prayer. Surgeries, pneumonia.
Oh, Pammy says, please pray I've passed these kidney stones after kidney surgery. So, well, let me tell you something. I have so many kidney stones in my life, it ain't even funny. I mean, I stayed in the hospital with kidney stones.
Listen, you've not really had but one since we've married, which is odd.
Which is really odd. I had them all the time before then. Of course, before then, I drank a lot of tea. I drank a lot of coffee. I sweated a lot. I didn't stay hydrated like I should. Since you and me's been married, I've drank nothing but water. And I drank a lot of water, and I stay hydrated better.
Okay, so let's go ahead and have our prayer request and then go from there.
Okay. Father, we come to you tonight, Lord. We just want to thank you for allowing us to all make it through another holiday season. It was a great time to be able to spend with the family and enjoy one another's company. And we appreciate that. And a lot of people on here have talked about all the things that they've done for their holidays. And I thank you that everyone was able to enjoy their holiday and to be able to rise up and have another one. Thank you that we live in a country that is free where we can still have these holidays. And Father, there's been a ton of prayer requests here tonight. I mean, that's the main purpose of this prayer, is to praise you and then to also lift up the prayer requests that's been mentioned here. And there's been a lot of them tonight. And I want to ask, Father, that you would look down upon each and every one of these requests and meet the need of each request that has been made here tonight. No matter how great or how small it is, nothing is too big or too little for you. Nothing is too small. So many times we forget and we think that, well, what I'm asking for, God, is just too little for God to fool with. No. The Lord loves when we pray for little things. And Father, that's why we love you so much. Nothing's too big or nothing's too little for you. So answer each request tonight, Father, and meet the need of each person. And Father, we're moving into some treacherous waters now in our country. There's lots of deals being made right now between Russia and Ukraine and the U.S. and Israel and Hezbollah and all these different things. There's just lots of stuff being brokered on the front right now. And I pray, Lord, that it'll all come to a head here pretty quick and everybody will be able to work it out and all this stuff will get stopped and we'll be able to live a more peaceful life for the next several years. I mean, I wish this on everybody, Lord. I really wish everybody could just have a more peaceful life and that we could all just get along and enjoy one another's company and not be so hateful toward one another, but yet love our fellow brother as you said in Scripture, as Christ loved us. That is our desire tonight, Father. We love you, we appreciate you, and ask that you do forgive us for we failed you. We ask these things in Christ's name. Amen. All right. Oh, man. Whew.
What else we got here before?
I'm going to take the glasses off where I cannot see the chat now, so I can't read
Well,
nothing.
the deal is he don't have a tip either.
Well, I can't see the chat, because if I read the chat,
you'll keep going.
I'll keep going. Yeah.
I need to take the chat down.
No, I just take the glasses off, because you got such small letters, I won't be able to see it over there.
Yeah. Well, I asked him before. He says, I don't have a chat. I don't have a tip.
Yeah, I've been so busy all day. Nothing has really been on my mind except getting projects finished today. But you know, one thing I guess that we're all going to be looking at here is and I mentioned this in the video, we are in solar cycle 25, and we are in a solar maximum, not a solar minimum, but a solar maximum. And because of that, if science is right, next year will be even hotter than this year was. And I know a lot of people probably don't want to hear that, and I'm going to be the first one to raise their hand and say, I don't want to hear that. And I'm hoping and praying to the good Lord above that the scientists are wrong and the meteorologists are wrong. But it looks like next year will be hotter. It looks like next year we'll have even more violent weather and more unpredictable weather and weather anomalies than this year had. We all know this year how we've had atmospheric rivers, how we had intense hurricanes. I mean, we had just hyper tornadoes going everywhere. We've had so much devastation, lightning, hail big as, 5-pound blocks and bigger, and it's just flooding, unprecedented drought, which this is scriptural. I've told y'all this before. There's scriptures in the Bible. You can Google it. I'm not going to sit here and give you all the verses because I believe you should have to look for what you need. But there's scriptures that says one city will burn up while the other one floods. And 30 minutes from us, they're getting more rain than they know what to do with every week. And we're sitting down here, haven't had any rain hardly, and we're in a huge deficit.
Yeah, and our little area, I don't know why. I don't know how wide span it is, but right here, like he said, 3 miles down the road, it's raining every other day or something. Here, it's just not raining. There's some way that this hill or giant whatever blocks things from coming our way, and it's really odd.
Well, according to the records, 2024 was the hottest year ever recorded on record on the earth here. And if they're saying 2025 is going to be even hotter, I have heard that there might be temperatures reaching 140 degrees. So we'll have to see. I mean, we haven't lived it yet. We'll just have to see if they're actually accurate. And plus, this last couple of days, Jackson, Mississippi has had 2 earthquakes strike. 2.5 earthquakes in Jackson, Mississippi, which is 2 hours north of us. Of course, we know Jackson sits on an old ancient volcano anyway, and but it's just kind of odd that earthquakes are happening in Jackson, Mississippi.
Yeah, several people got rain this week, but I think it sprinkled.
Yeah.
All of 5 minutes. Not even a rain. I mean, we thought it was fixing to. It got dark and it went around us. And lots of people got a good bit of rain this week, but we did not. And because Danny was preparing. Well, you did something ahead of the rain. You said, it's going to rain, so I'm going to do this. And
yeah, I ran out and actually plowed up a row in the garden and tried to get it. I tilled it and tried to get it all ready for the onions when they came in here, because it's supposed to be pouring down raining, and I got it all ready, and then it just sprinkled.
Yeah. So was that your tip, or you just...
Well, not only is it going to be hotter, but between now and the end of next year, the winter is going to be colder. As a matter of fact, December the 1st this year will be one of the coldest recorded winter starts in history. I mean, literally, for most of the country, this is the coldest December most of the parts of the country's ever seen this time of the year. So, and I'm just going by what the meteorologists are saying.
Yeah, someone asked what we ate, and there is a playlist of things. It's what is it like to eat at Deepsouth or something like that.
Yeah.
But we've changed a lot of things since then. That's probably not as accurate as what we do now, but that's the way we ate back then. We've cut out a lot of those things because some of that was processed foods. And since then, we've cut out anything to do with going to a grocery store. except when we have to. We started buying from Azure Standard, trying to work our way into more organic from the store, and we grow probably 75% of what we eat.
Oh, we grow more than that.
I would say at least 75%.
We grow more than that. We're up to probably 80-something% of what we eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Tim, well, I seen Tim's name pop up. Where'd it go? Tim says electroculture for the onions. Yes, I have electroculture on the onions.
Some of them, the ones in high tunnel. Anyway.
Yeah, in the high tunnels. I don't have it out in the field yet, but I do have it in the high tunnels.
All right. Aunt B. Bond, let me see if I got your email.
Did you get her email? Let's see here.
I did.
Yes, she did get it.
Thank you. Got it. All right.
What we could have with the winter this year is we could have hurricane force winds with snow and then turn right around and warm up so warm it every bit melts right away. I mean, can you imagine hurricane force winds and blizzard snowstorms blowing your roof off your house, blowing trees down on your house, tearing up everything, no electricity, and then you have no way to stay warm if you don't have a wood heater? I mean, stop and think about that. That's already happening. People in North Carolina, and I pray for the people in North Carolina all the time because of
Tennessee and other places.
Tennessee and other places because of Helene. Lots of those people is not being recorded. I have information that lots of people up there are freezing to death. Literally, they're dying from freezing, and nobody is talking about it. Literally, nobody's talking about it.
Yeah. So have some ways to know how to stay warm other than if you don't have a wood heater. A lot of people don't. Even some of you may have wood heaters. You have no way to go get the wood because of physical abilities or no money to pay somebody for wood or whatever. Some of you have gas heat and don't have the money to pay for the gas like you need to. You're having to be very sparing. But have alternative ways of heat. Hot water bottles are great. And if you can't afford the actual hot water bottles, Coke bottles or any type of bottle with warm water in them in the bed with you will keep you warm. Lots of blankets, multiple layers of clothes, especially something on your head.
Yeah.
Toboggans, keep toboggans, gloves for your hands, socks and extra socks for your feet.
Yes.
The way to stay warm is to have more insulation around your body.
Yes. It's bad. It's a bad situation. I mean, I understand when Revelations says, when it talks about the end times, when it talks about, Israel having to flee, where it says, pray that your flight don't be in the wintertime. I can understand why, because if the weather's really, really bad and it's frigid cold and all that, the Lord said just pray that when something happens, it don't happen in the wintertime. Because we have, yes, in the deep south we have hurricanes and it tears up everything down here and we have no power for days on end, but it's usually during the warm months. And we can sleep on the porch, we can sleep, we can find somewhere we can sleep in a tent. We don't have to worry. But when you're up in the Carolinas and it's this time of the year and you just had one of the coldest Decembers on record coming into your area and you have nowhere to stay but in a travel trailer or a tent or some makeshift shelter and none of them have any kind of heat source, hypothermia, most people don't understand, hypothermia can set in at 80 degrees. I have seen it happen. I have had hypothermia before. I understand how it works. When I taught survival, I've seen people in 80-degree temperature get hypothermia. So, and you can die from hypothermia very quickly.
Another thing is those hand warmers and feet warmers and things. Those usually you can catch them on sale that are not that expensive. Buy some of those things to have around when you need them. But ways to stay warm. And somebody mentioned covering their windows and stuff.
Yes.
With heavy.
Don't be so proud that you are afraid of what your home's going to look like if you put something over the windows. Do whatever you got to do to stay warm.
Yeah. And
you can go 2 weeks without food
Mm-hmm.
you're only going to make it about 3 to 4 hours with your body temperature not being where it needs to be at. You will freeze to death. I mean, stop thinking about it. You can go 3 days without water, but you can only go 3 hours with your body temperature dropping before you get into serious trouble. Okay.
Gotta go.
We got to get off of here. I said I wasn't going to put my glasses on and look at the chat, and I did it anyway. Okay. I'm gonna trust Miss Wanda to get us off of here so that we can all go get some rest tonight. I got to put some wood back in and wood heater over there because it sounds like it's trying to go out on me over there. And yeah, the temperature is up fairly decent here in the room.
38 degrees outside.
38 degrees outside right now. Going to drop another 10 degrees before morning. So let's get off of here. How about that?
Yes. Y'all have a safe weekend, and